finger safetyness, the flickiness, the grizzle down. We got to bear down, get through this. Are you confused? I'm seeing birds around my head. This is not as flicky, I say, as I flicked it. Hey everyone, David C. Anderson here, coming at you from the KnifeCenter, and it is our favorite time of the week. I don't know why I'm talking like this, but it is our favorite time of the week because I got a bunch of cool new knives that have just hit our shelves on the table in front of me, including, to start off with, the Drop Bear Zero, a new KnifeCenter exclusive version of this knife, taking this ultra clean design and kind of fancifying it up a little bit while not losing that cleanliness that has made it so popular. Vanax steel, titanium handles, Timascus hardware, the button, the thumb studs, and the back spacer. Price on this is going to come in about $279. And as we're filming this, the batch has been going pretty quickly. So don't know how long these will remain in stock. You've been warned. Blade is just over 3 inches long. You've got that signature drop bear style drop point with the tip a bit below the center line. In a way, it kind of reminds me of like a beefed up Swiss Army knife blade. Like it's kind of that Victorinox shape, which is kind of cool. Hollow grind on the Vanax steel here, keeping the geometry behind the thin edge very, very thin as well. Vanax is even more stain resistant than something like Magnacut, while also boasting high performance values in edge retention and pretty decent toughness, not as high as Magnacut toughness wise. But it does use a very fine, or it has a very fine grained microstructure, so it should sharpen quite easily despite holding an edge quite well. 3.1 inches, plenty to work with. The handle gives you enough for many folks to get a full 4-finger grip on the knife. As long as your hands aren't like super large, it should be very comfortable and very like bearable. Like you could bear down on some cuts. It's not what bearable means, but we're just gonna go with it.
Something to do with bears.
Something to do with bear. It wouldn't be it wouldn't be a new Knives of the Week video if I didn't make up a new word or a new utilization for a word. So there you go. We've checked that box early, which is a lot of fun. You have the button actuated top liner lock, which is a compression style of lock. Of course, they can't call it a compression lock because that's Spyderco's TM, and I've been explaining that every time, and I don't know how else to tell you what it is without using their trademark name. Anyway. It has a button to actuate it, however. So you have wrist flick open and close, finger safe closing path, keeping your fingers away from that edge as you close it naturally, which is nice. Thumb studs work equally as well, nice and snappy. Deep carry pocket clip mounted from the tail end right there, keeps it very subtle, very clean looking in the pocket as well, not just clean looking when it is in hand. And you can reverse it, but if you do, you will see one little screw right back there, spoiling the cleanliness just a little bit. So it's more right hand focus there, even though the lock is going to work great for left-handers as well. They turned out really nice. You can find out for yourself at the link below, or the QR codes in the corner if you're watching this on the TV, of course. Next up, this launched yesterday, a new knife from Hogue. This is the Saxum, and in keeping with a few of their past releases, they're releasing the high-end collector's versions first, and as such, these are going to be a bit pricier than many of Hogue's items, but possibly in the future, they might bring it in at a lower price point. But for right now, this is what we got. 2 versions. You've got this one right here for $350 with Magnamax steel, the newest new hotness. Less tough than the highly stainless Magnacut, but higher edge retention, while still maintaining more toughness than similar edge retention stainless steels, similar levels of stainless steels with a similar level of edge retention. There you go. Are you confused? I'm seeing birds around my head. But it is an exciting new steel. Not a lot out there with it yet, although we're starting to see some production examples trickling out, this being one of them. You could also spend more money, about $500, for black aluminum just like this with, kingwood inserts and a Damascus blade. And I think, I'm trying to confirm. I think it's a Vegas Forge Damascus on that, but I'm not 100% on that. But if you want the performance option, it is going to be the Magnamax as opposed to the Damascus, which is there more for looks than performance. That's not a bad steal anyway. Anyway, blade, 2.8 inches long, drop point. Very versatile, very bearable. You could take it. You could bear this knife in many different places because of the length. I don't know what I'm doing with this bearable nonsense.
Just grizzly and bearing it.
You just grizzle down. We got to bear down, get through this. Carbon fiber for the inlay on this one. Despite looking like it is one of Hogue's excellent automatic knives, this is in fact a manual button lock, as you can see right there. So you get similar, benefits of the lock on that Drop Air Zero we just looked at, except with a plunge style lock in this case, but you get the finger safetyness, the flickiness, all that stuff. It's good. You've got a significant spot here for your thumb to rest due to the way they've treated the spine right there. And it nests pretty well for me if I choke up just a little bit. If I'm holding it personally in the standard position with the index finger groove right there, I feel more comfortable choking behind it actually and getting a little more reach. So everyone's mileage will vary, of course, given their hands. You got a deep carry pocket clip, not reversible, but it's nice and flush mounted into the handle, which is quite nice. Now we come to the part of the video that's going to make Thomas very happy. Two knives.
Also because it annoys you.
Well, there are two knives which are very established that are joining the ranks of the reverse Tanto-ish land with new blade shapes heretofore unseen on them. First is the Exocet II, which is the larger version of the Exocet. Thomas might call this a reverse a reverse Tanto. The website actually calls it a Wharncliffe, but I'm going to go on record as saying that is sheep's foot all the way. I don't think we're pointy enough to be a Wharncliffe right there, and it's not a full taper. Like that's sheep's foot, right?
You can be wrong.
Can we all agree that Thomas is wrong on this one? Fight in the comments. Anyway. Respectfully, of course. Keep it simple. 2.3 inches on the blade on the Exocet II. The standard Exocet is a 2-inch blade, of course. The handle is not that much bigger feeling. Maybe they figured out they could squeeze more into it when they kind of re-engineered it into the modern generation of Microtech's action and drivetrain, including the crud cutter under the switch right there. The standard version, or Exocet 1, for lack of a better term, still rides on the old school platform that they've been phasing out gradually. But the action is really good. The blade is the sliciest you're going to get from a Microtech OTF. So if you're slightly turned off by the thicker geometries that most OTFs in general come with, this is the antidote to that. Check out how thin that blade is. This thing is going to cut really, really efficiently. And especially as thinking of this as like a replacement for a box cutter, highly effective for those types of scoring and push cutting rolls. Big titanium, I'm assuming titanium, pocket clip here, way chunkier and bigger than the original Exocet, but it still maintains that sort of like money clip type of vibe going on. And it does look like it is reversible as well. There you go, Exocet 2. I like it. Despite the small size, big hand grip on this one, thanks to that money clip proportions as well. Next up, here you go, Thomas. This one's definitely for you. The Lander 2 from Knafs, now featuring not only a new blade shape, which is called a reverse Tanto on the website. Whatever.
That Ben's a good guy.
That Ben is a good guy. Don't take my whatevering at the blade nomenclature as any sort of indictment upon the knife or the individuals behind it, because that's not the case. I'm just having a little bit of fun. New handle shape to the Lander 2 as well. Faceted in ways that kind of really accent this particular blade shape, no matter what you want to call it, as opposed to the more kind of organic flowing outline of the original. It's still kind of the same. It's just kind of faceted and squared off in a few areas. But you get a full 4-finger grip on this knife as well, at least I do. Very gentle at the front, so no prominent finger guard, but that lets you get right there behind the heel of the blade when you're doing that close-up work, which can be really, really nice as well. Steel is LMAX in this case. Pretty cool. We're seeing a bit more of that popping up. It's not that it's a new steel, but I'm seeing it a little more prevalently across some releases lately. So stainless, high edge retention. Toughness is not at the same level as stuff like Magnacut though. Good action on the crossbar lock there. Works quite nicely. You have got a reversible deep carry pocket clip, inset with flush head screws, and a blockout plate on the front to keep it cleaner, as opposed to having the cavity just drilled out and empty. And the hardware kind of ties things together with the black right there. There you go. That's the Lander 2 in reverse Tanto.
Welcome to the team.
This next knife is not newly joining the ranks, but I would also kind of refer to this as a sheep's foot blade. The Jinn Auto from Heretic, new versions of this. Really light for its size. If you crave like lightweight, ultralight carry, for an automatic knife especially, this is really impressive. Price on it is $340. You got a 3-inch Magnacut blade. The weight on it is 1.69 ounces with an automatic action. That is wild. The handles, all carbon fiber, and that is kind of how they get things down to where they need to be. Just really, really impressive. And the action hasn't suffered as a result. It still works quite well. You've got a pocket clip with 2 pinch points for retention here. Not deep carry, but access is pretty easy thanks to the shape here at the back. And it is reversible as well, because this is lefty friendly as well, even though it's not a symmetrical experience left to right. Really, really cool. I like the finishing on the blade. You've got more of a satin and tumbled finish kind of existing together, which is nice. It is very compact handle for the blade size as well. So it carries super slim, super easy. Then when you need it, just the balance of that blade to handle just feels really, really special. Speaking of feeling really, really special, Tactile Turn. Their pens just feel really, really special. The level of machining on them is so precise and just so satisfying to hold. They've kind of rejiggered their bolt action to also now release the clip action pen, which is, well, I don't know if they re-engineered or if it's like a clean sheet thing, but anyway, the pen acts as the bolt action right there. Or sorry, the clip acts as the bolt action right there. So it creates an even cleaner look when it's in that closed position, as opposed to having a separate track and separate stud for doing that bolt action. And it should still have some of the same benefits that I appreciate about a bolt action. When it's in your pocket, you've got the safety of a capped pen in that you can't like push the end and have the tip come out and get your pockets all messy, but when you're ready to use it, you have the convenience of a clicky top, which is pretty cool. $119 for this version right here in titanium. This is the standard, but all the sizes are essentially available now with this action. Let me see. Let me just make sure. Yeah, we've got 6 options here. Oh, it looks like we've got the standard and the short in this duller finish, a shinier finish, and the black DLC finish as well. So you can take your pick. Speaking of things being nice, again, the Koenig Xenon. Exquisite levels of detailing on this. The price reflects that. It's a bit over $2,000 in this case. So keep that in mind. But really cool details. The back spacer has some of the finest machining I have ever seen on such a thing. The jimping is really nice here. The blade itself is M390 with a hand rubbed finish. Really fine machining on the titanium. You've actually got some interesting things going on with the liner lock. The first thing that's most obvious is the release isn't quite where you would think. You would expect to go here, but it's actually directly in front, right where the finger guard essentially is. And there is a practical aspect to that. If you go to close it, your thumb is in the way to keep it from closing on your finger until you really move things out of the way. If you're down here, there is always a chance, however small, that you might nick yourself on the way down. Sort of mitigates that here, which is pretty cool. The other thing, which is going to be hard to see, you can see there's an extra plate underneath the pocket clip right here. It has a slightly different texture, which may or may not affect the pocketing, but this is sort of a stepped piece that goes through the front side of the handle and then secures the liner lock from the opposite side. So it's very rigid, and does it make a, do you need that sort of extra rigidity? Maybe not in a small gentlemanly pocket knife like this, but as an exercise on how to make things that much better, I think it's pretty darn cool. Next up, we have from Kunwu, collaboration with Metal Complex. This is the Excalibur right here. I dare say it's perhaps a worthy name for a knife of this stature. It is very nice as well. All the very nice stuff is right here.
Get that from a watery tart.
No. What do we have here? Well, there's carbon fiber or titanium options. Prices start at $259 for the carbon fiber and go up a bit for the titaniums. And that comes with an LMAX blade, another LMAX blade here, 3.7 inches, really cool drop point, really cool execution with the thumb hole here and that really stylistic fuller in front of it. Really precisely done, really nicely done. The comfort in the hand, especially at least on this carbon fiber versions, I haven't held the titanium, is superb. Check out the edges. You've got contour to the face and contour to the edges that just help it sit so comfortably in my slightly larger than average hands. Really, really nice. Titanium pocket clip as well. Verta lock, as they call it, which is essentially seeming like one of those compression type of spin-off locks. It may not be precisely, it's hard to tell without more explanation, but it operates the same way as Spyderco's compression lock, of course, as you can see right there. The action is good with those thumb studs, or sorry, with that blade cutout, which I use there. The action is also good with the thumb studs, as we can now attest, or I can now attest. Or you can do the wrist flick. You got the finger safe closing. All the things I've been talking about as being advantageous. You can choke up as well with that unguarded finger choil there at the front for some finer detail. And you can appreciate the crowned spine, especially when you get up there onto the jimped section. Overall, it's just like blastedly perfect, I'd say. Also, I believe there's an extra pocket clip in the package, wasn't there, Thomas?
I don't remember.
Because we have milling here for the wire style pocket clip. And I believe it comes with an extra. If not, they are available.
There's boxes there.
There's boxes. We'll check and do an inset here so we can confirm. Very, very nice knives overall. We've also got the Diablo. Not in collaboration with Metal Complex, but it's Kunwu. It's made supremely well, as you would expect. Vanax blade steel here as well. We already talked about that there at the beginning. Big sheep's foot style blade here. Massive presentation in that open position, 3.5 inches long, but feeling absolutely stunning. You can get it in a smooth titanium for $309. You can get the textured titanium for $319, and that textured can get it with a black DLC as well, like this one.
Those speech classes are really paying off.
You could also get it in satin with the textured here. I guess, man. I don't know what's wrong with me today. You've got a front flipper, but you've also got the blade cut out if you don't want to engage with that front flipper, which is, my personal preference, so I'm just going to leave it at that. The texturing is really nicely done with that diamond plate. The frame lockup is super strong. Backspacer gives you a little bit of an apex there to concentrate force. It's not pokey, but it is there to aid in the process. Again, full 4-finger grip for me, plus the unguarded finger choil, giving you more options, and the crown spine when you get up there onto it with your thumb is exceedingly nice. This next knife also exceeds in its niceness. You can already tell just by looking that this is going to be expensive. This is a limited edition Barlow from Boker. This is the Fulldress version with Hogue damasteel for the blade, Mokutai handles front and back, and the price is $934 and some change right now. What a piece this is. The pocket clip is also that mokutai right there. And it's all not just thin bits of mokutai. There's a lot of thickness at the ultimate top to bottom here, contoured down, of course, so that it is comfy in the hand. You got that clip point blade, 2.56 inches long, Damasteel being a powder metal, as opposed to like traditionally pattern welded Damascus steels. This has that finer grain structure for more toughness. And since it's based on what is essentially CPM 154, you've got pretty decent edge retention as well. We've got a gold liner lock there inset, and you can see it really picks up some of the colors there on the front side. Action is this very subtle flipper tab here at the back. You got to make sure you're getting on it really nicely, especially with the handle like this, because it is a little bit on the slicker side. And these are serialized. And this one is number 66 of 99, whether you look at it this way or this way. 66 of 99.
I told the joke first.
Thomas was going, like, I don't know which way is up. I'm like, well, I think you're right about that. But I guess it doesn't matter too much since 66 and 99 are inverse of each other or whatever, something of each other. Very nice. Very, very nice knives and limited, like I said, to 99 pieces worldwide. We don't have all 99 of them, so keep that in mind. Next up, the Bushfriend 2000 from Boker Knives and the Dutch Bushcraft Knives channel. I'll essentially say what I said about this the first time these came around. We've just got new handles, orange G10, or the option for the wood here. What wood is this? Is it curly birch? It is curly birch.
From a tree.
It's tree wood, correct. It's probably not fogwood because that's the found on ground wood. It's tree wood because that's where they found it. I'll say essentially the same thing that I said before, at least in my head. I didn't go back to look at exactly what I said. These knives are like dang on perfect designs. There's nothing I would change about these. If you want a no nonsense, let me hold the wood one. I like that. Like no nonsense knife for outdoor use. This has everything you want to have on it without anything else to get in the way. It's very sublimely done. $254 and change for the wood option here. $237 for the orange G10. We still have the original all black version for about $220 as well. Those come with 80 CRV2. They all come with 80 CRV2, which is an Austrian carbon steel that is very tough. The 4.3 inch blade with the drop point here. Highly adaptable to any sort of bushcraft or survival scenario, or even just general purpose outdoor and even hunting. The wood option here gives you a little bit of a lighter handle than the others, so if you like that, you can go for that. The balance is still really, really nice. The comfort in my hand is excellent. Great shape to those handles. Just enough of a finger guard to keep you safe, especially in a survival scenario, while not getting in the way when you want to choke up. So pretty darn perfect, man. Even comes with the leather sheath right here, kind of bushcraft JRE style, although it's not a JRE. You've got the square bottom, you got the fire steel loop. You have, is this snappable? Yes, you have a dangler with a snap loop there. So you can remove that if you prefer a higher and tighter carry, or the dangler can get it below your belt or your hip pack or whatever is around your belt. Great design, very good execution as well. And made in Solingen on those, made in Germany. Next up, if those are too expensive for you, this is probably like one of the things that I'm like stupidly most excited about from SHOT Show earlier this year. The Amberg from Mora is here. It is the first, like, with some exceptions for like specific niche things, it is the full flat ground Mora as opposed to a Scandi grind, done in like the typical like Mora outdoor style that we've been looking forward to. The Scandi version of this knife is already in stock. We've got those still. I think we have them in stock. We have had them, if not. Now you've got the full flat option right here. Thickness is the same at the spine. Blade shape is a little different. You got more belly on the full flat, which kind of makes sense because this type of grind is going to slice a little cleaner than a Scandi grind. And for skinning especially, that type of geometry is going to work quite nicely. And then, yeah, standard type of edge, secondary bevel there at the edge. Stainless steel, 14C28N, so it is very tough and sharpens easily, but holds an edge respectably well. The handle works great for my hand size. Yeah, quite nicely, in fact. You've got hard section. Actually, it's all kind of rubbery, and then the contrasting color here is a little bit the harder point right there. Super cool. $57 for these, 4.3 inches on the blade. The sheath is ambidextrous through the use of this kind of caddy right here. I won't stick it all the way on because I don't want to clip it into place and have to, whoever buys it have to move it around if they want. But you can flip that around to either side to set it up for left or right-hand carry. And you've got, belt loops, small belt loops, I would grant you, attached there or integrated there into the back. In addition to that, we have the Amberg Compact now in stock. Handle size is exactly the same, but the blade is smaller and more controllable. You got a 3-inch 12C27 blade here, so less edge retention, but tougher than 14C. And you've got the sort of compound grind similar to what you'd see on something like the Eldris, or some versions of the Eldris at least. So you've got the full Scandi here at the back for that chisel-like wood performance, and it's still Scandi here at the front, but they've thinned the shoulders down behind it essentially to kind of, close the gap between it and like the full flat types of varieties, so you can get a little more efficiency out of those. I like this concept because you have full control over that, but a smaller blade to do the smaller work. And, you can do small work with bigger knives, but it is not as fun. So there's a reason to do this sort of thing. $43 for these as well, and there's a few different colors that can be had. This is, of course, the black one, similar kind of sheath with this as well. Now, if you were to pair your outdoor fixed blade with a multi-tool, the Leatherman Signal is kind of created for outdoor use, and there is a new version of it. The tools and everything are the same, but the finishes are different. This is the Sandstorm finish, and it comes with basically kind of camouflage blade coating in both of these cases. It makes it feel a little more tactical, if I'm honest. But you got the saw on one side, the combo-edged blade on the other. 420 HC steel, still the standard deal on those. And I pinched myself on the saw, but that's okay. $150 for these. And it does come with the sheath. Not all new Leathermans these days come with sheaths anymore. This one does, so that's cool. That's actually a really nice color combination right there. If you do use it outside, it's going to look dirty really quickly, but hey, that's just what it is. The cool thing about the Signal being so attuned to outdoor use, you've got the hammering end here at the back. Use it to hammer in tent stakes and that sort of thing. And as I said, the Signal is very attuned to being an outdoor multi-tool. It's got this little piece that pops out with a ferro rod. You can scrape that with the spine of the saw right there. Also comes with an integrated whistle on that piece. The opposite side, you've got another bit that comes out with a diamond sharpener, which is nice. Then on the inside, you've got your pliers, of course. You've got a can opener, which can be good for camping for sure. A interchangeable flat bit driver. Always need to turn some screws, and an awl there as well. Very nice for field expedient repairs, especially on stuff like leather and that sort of thing. The Signal Sandstorm finish. Is it the same price as the standard Signals? It is. You get a cool blade finish to go with it. All right, next up, we have a CRKT, a new version of the blade lock, the Michael Walker blade lock, for about $88. And essentially, the thumb stud here is not just your opening mechanism, it's also your lock actuator. You can see it's kind of sticking up, like so. Push down, rotate closed. This is not as flicky, I say, as I flicked it better than I did at any of the points I tried before the camera started rolling. So you can flick it, I guess, if you want to. But it is held in the closed position in a locked fashion as well. So it's not going to spring open, most likely, if you drop it, that sort of thing. But you do have to push down that button. Unlike older versions of this knife, ones that were decades ago, I think, when they brought this knife back, these are all manual. There's no kind of assisted opening version of it like it used to be. Same handle inlay on this one, the black and brown G10, but all black on the rest of the finishing as opposed to the gray finish of the already currently existing model, which is the same price. Blade is a modified Wharncliffe. It's just under 3 inches long. You've got a full grip for working that. as well. The front end here, although it's round, which can sometimes kind of push your finger one way or another, you've got jimping on the spine of the blade, or the tang of the blade, as well as on this oversized pivot, which actually give you a fair bit of traction. You can still, slide around on it if you're pushing real hard, but that goes a long way to helping it feel quite secure. Very cool knife. Last but not least, two things from RMJ, and actually two things that would make a great pair of tools when heading outdoors. We have the Sparrow, recently back in stock now with Magnacut steel. I don't know if we've had Magnacut batches of this in previously or not. I know we've had Nitro V in the past, but now Magnacut is an option. Few different handle options. This is the Dirty Olive G10, $220 for this. And were you to pair this with this axe right here, this is the tactical, or the RMJ Tactical Raven, 80 CRV2, tough carbon steel, $525. As a very potent woods walking combo right there. You've got your limbing, chopping, hacking stuff going on with the axe. You can choke up for finer work if you need to, especially if you wrap that in paracord to give yourself some more thickness. That would go even longer way to making that even more effective. Do a lot of stuff with that. You got a slim pole on the back, but you could do some hammery stuff with that if you want. And then the Sparrow for any of the smaller stuff, your food prep, small whittling, skinning, of course, going to be nicely done with that. It's kind of got this really cool bird and trout thing going on. You could do a lot worse than either of these. It's really nice. I've always been a fan of the Sparrow, especially. And those come with Kydex sheaths. The Sparrow is set up with an ulti clip, so it would make a great pocket fixed blade option, or you could carry it inside the waistband, of course. And then you've got Kydex with a belt carrier as well on the Raven. Check them out. If you don't like those colors, there's other ones. You can change the flavor up if you want. That's all we got for now, folks. I almost gave the Knife AQ outro and said, keep your questions coming in the comments. I suppose you could do that. If you have questions, drop them in the comments. But let me know what your favorites were from this selection, of course. And to get your hands on them, links in the description or those QR codes are your friend. They're going to take you to KnifeCenter.com, where you can take advantage of our Knife Rewards program to get some free money on a future purchase. And you can even use stuff like Sezzle at checkout if you want to break things into smaller payments. I'm David C. Anderson from the Knife Center. That's Thomas behind the camera, and we are signing off. See you next time.